Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this session on how to implement a flexible mobility plan the easy way. I'm here with my colleague Simon, and we will just wait an additional 2 minutes before starting so that everyone has the time to connect. Hello. So again, good morning, everyone. We can start now the event. Thank you for joining this session organized by Skipper on how to implement a flexible mobility plan the easy way. So I'm Marousia Colette, head of business development at Skipper. I've been working at Skipper for 4 years now on the commercial side, and I'm here today with Simon. Simon, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to the audience.
Yes, so good morning, everyone. I'm Simon, Head of Customer Success at Skipper, working here for over 2 years now. And with the CS team, we support our customers in the transition from sales prospects to active users of our products. For example, taking care of the onboarding, the account management, but also providing trainings and support.
Okay, so for the agenda of today, maybe first to start how the session will happen, you have the opportunity all to ask your questions during the full webinar. If you see on the screen on the right, down on the right corner, you will see a question tab. You can ask your questions there, and we will take the time at the end of the session to answer all the questions you have regarding a mobility plan for your company. For the agenda of today, I will start with an introduction on the mobility market trends that we see today, specifically in corporate mobility in Belgium. And then we want to go really concrete together with Simon into the 3 needed steps on your side as an employer to start the change and be able to implement such a mobility plan in your company. We will then go over the key success factors of a successful mobility project. And like I said, we will then take the time to answer all your questions for you to be able to go home with an answer on the question you have regarding corporate mobility. So don't hesitate before I start to ask all your questions in the question tab in the right corner of the screen. But so to start with the market trends today in Belgium and in corporate mobility, you will surely also see those trends in your company. But we can see 4 main trends today that are really impacting the mobility for different employers in Belgium. First of all, the fact that people are working more and more from home. We see that the home working policy that employers are putting in place have a real impact on the mobility of their employees, of course, because if you have a really flexible mobility work from home policy, where people can, for example, come to work 1 or 2 times a week, people, what does it mean? It means that people will move less and that a lot of questions will be raised on your mobility plan. The subscriptions are still needed, or there are more flexible solutions to answer this new way of working. So we really see the work from home trend impacting the mobility of employees. Secondly, we also see new mobility preferences arising from the employees themselves. We hear from our customers, employees coming to see them, telling them that I want a true alternative to the company car. I'm not interested in the car. Or, for example, I really want to have a bike in my salary package because sometimes, and in the summer, I will come with the bike to the office. Or also people that want to combine different transport modes to come to the office and not have one single mobility option for their commute, for example. So we really see the preferences of people regarding their commute and their mobility that are evolving. A third trend that is important, and on employer side, we really see it that in big corporations in Belgium, employers start to have objectives they need to reach regarding sustainability. How can I reduce my the CO2 emissions of my company? And most of the time, mobility is a big brick of this CO2 reduction objective. So really being able to follow up the CO2 emissions of your mobility plan, have the needed reportings to report to the company on more sustainable mobility options. And then, last but not least, we also see the legislation that is evolving. We will talk about it a little bit later, but we have the federal mobility budget in Belgium that is becoming more and more successful towards employers, which is proposing for the first time a true alternative to the company car, but also on commuting legislations. We see the bike allowance per kilometer, for example, that is becoming higher and higher each year to really push people to move to the office otherwise than with the private car. And so these four trends are really impacting today the corporate mobility plan we see that the traditional mobility plans that employers have in Belgium. When we look concretely at the numbers and how do people move in Belgium today, these are the numbers for 2022. But however, we will update them when we have the new numbers for this year. Of course, we see that still 50% of the kilometers that are done in Belgium are still done with the car, with the private car, which is representing the biggest part. However, what's interesting is when we compare the evolution of kilometers done per transport mode, 2022 versus 2021, we see that everything that's the bike, electric bike and public transport is really increasing, while the part of the private car is decreasing from 55% to 50% in 2022. We also see an increase in shared mobility solutions. So the trend is there. People want to use the bike, public transport more. However, they still need the means to do it in order to be able to have an easy access to alternative transport modes. And that's why a very interesting question that was asked by the SPF Mobilité, so the FOD Mobility, to the respondents of this etude, is that for people that use a MaaS today, when they have access to a MaaS solution, so with a MaaS solution we mean mobility as a service. We will go back to the definition a little bit later. But the people that answered, if I have access to a mass solution that gives me the opportunity to easily use public transport, the bike, or to walk to the office, then the net impact of the respondents is really interesting. We see that 28% of the respondents say they would more use public transport. More than 20% of people say they would more walk or bike to the office, and 15% of people that are using the car would use the car less if they had the means to travel differently thanks to their employer. So we really see that we need to give employees the tools in their hands to be able to move differently. And that's what we are trying to do with a mass solution. So the definition of a mass solution is quite global. We have different mass providers that you all know. For example, Google Maps. Now there is in Belgium also Floya that has developed a mass solution. So it's really a digital solution that is integrating different mobility options into one application. Today at Skipper, we've developed a mass solution, but specifically for corporates in B2B, so for companies. And we see the mass as a composition of 3 different pillars that you see on the screen. We have an admin portal because as an HR, as a person part of the HR team of your company or the mobility team of your company, you need to have a portal where you can decide which mobility benefits you want to activate, where you can define the mobility budget, but also where you can access the needed reportings you need in your company regarding the commuting of your employees. And then your employees, they have access to a mobile application and a mobility payment card. So you could really see us also as the ticket restaurant of mobility, as we give the employees all the means to see all the options they have, the options they can use in an app with a budget that is dedicated to mobility. And we also give them the means to consume that mobility via our mobility card. But so this was an overview of the mobility trends in Belgium, the definition of the mass mobility as a service. How does a tool like this can be implemented in different companies? And now in the second step of the session, we want to go over with Simon to the 3 different steps that you need to take as an employer in order to start the change and be able to propose such a mobility solution to your employees. As an example, we have already implemented such mobility plans in more than 200 companies in Belgium, big corporations like Deloitte, Carrefour, Deleuze, Luminus, for example, Allianz, that have already taken the different steps. So it's possible, and we will don't hesitate to ask all your questions regarding this, because we can take our experience with actual customers to respond to your questions. But important, the first step to take as an employer before implementing such a mobility plan is to define internally your mobility vision and the mobility profiles you have in the company. What do we mean with that? Is that you need to know as an employer, first of all, what you want to implement. Is it, for example, the federal mobility budget? Is it a more flexible commuting plan for all your employees you want to propose? Is it more a mobility plan linked to a flex plan in a cafeteria plan? So there are different options that are legally and fiscally possible in Belgium. But it's important for you to understand which kind of profiles, mobility profiles you have in your company, and what do you want to implement concretely. Once you know what you want to implement, also for whom, so which target employees. We have companies that reach out to us just for the implementation of the federal mobility budget. So for employees that have a company car and can choose to change the company car to a mobility budget, but also companies that reach out to us that want to put in place a commute plan, a more flexible commute plan that will be proposed to all the employees of the company to give them access to more mobility options. And so here, maybe a first question to you, Simon. As head of customer success, you see you help companies a lot, and you accompany them in the implementation of their flexible mobility plan. What are today the two main use cases you see that companies are trying to solve when they are reaching out to Skipper?
Yeah. So I think most of the time employers reach out because they want to get to know more about the federal mobility budget. And also often because it is pushed by the employees as well. For example, employees, mostly younger employees we see who have a company car in their salary package, but they don't want a car anymore and they are looking for interesting alternatives. Previously, you had the cash for car option, which was not interesting at all. And so now you have the federal mobility budget, which provides a lot of flexibility to employees and is also completely tax-free in Pillar 2. Of the around 200 companies that we have onboarded in the federal mobility budget, we see that on average, around 30% of the employees opt in for the mobility budget, which is quite a nice amount.
Yes, indeed. And we also see then it means it's quite a gradual implementation for the employer, if I'm not mistaken, that people will join the federal mobility budget little by little. And it's not like a plan that will impact all the employees at once.
Exactly. So it's really a gradual process. So mostly in the beginning, a couple of new employees opt in at the start, and then gradually this number increases as people reach the end of their car lease. And I think this gradual process also really gives the opportunity to employers to really get acquainted with the Skipper solution. So the federal mobility budget, that would be the first main use case. And then the other main use case would be, can you still hear me? Because I am seeing that my connection was, okay, perfect. So the other main use case would be commuting. As you already mentioned during the trends, people work more from home, meaning the mobility costs are shifting and are not the same. Subscriptions are becoming less interesting and companies are contacting us for more flexible commuting options. So I really see three main advantages of implementing a commuting program for your employees. So first of all, less mobility costs as an employer because of more home working and shifting needs. Secondly, more flexibility as an employee because of Skipper. They can easily switch between public transport, bike allowance, shared mobility, etc. And then I think that the last big advantage is also having all the aggregated data related to commuting in one platform. So all kind of expenses, different modes of mobility, but for example, also information related to CO2 emissions.
Okay, very clear. So we really see federal mobility budget and commuting, the two main use cases today. When defining your mobility vision and profiles, which is really the first step to take as an employer. If we then go to the second step, once you have defined your vision and you have understood the different mobility profiles you have in the company, there is the need to translate this vision into a new mobility policy and the needed internal procedures that will have to be taken to be able to implement this policy. Most of the time, we see employers shifting actually from a very classic company car policy to a mobility policy that will integrate more mobility options than the company car. But when you are defining your new policy, you will have to define the budgets you want to allow. So the TCO budgets for the mobility budget. You will have to define the new mobility services you want to allow. For example, in a commuting plan, public transport, bike allowance, shared mobility, for example. And also, do you have, as an employer, specific restrictions you want to put in place, things you do not want people to use, for example. But so step 2 is to translate this into a mobility policy. and then adapt your internal procedures, because most of the time today, internally, you will have, okay, for example, for a person that starts in your company, they will ask for public transport subscriptions once a year. They will order it, and then nothing else is done. Here, different procedures will have to be defined, like when can I opt in the mobility budget, or which options can I choose? Can I combine different transport modes? So how will I, for example, register my bike kilometers